It's not recording.
YouTube, you're recording. Tell them that. No, just sit down. I'm trying to tell you it's recording.
No, that's not.
Because I can edit it out. It's not that big of an
It is
issue.
recording.
I told you
It
it's
is
recording.
recording.
People always think I'm lying. I'm not lying.
Alright, when it
Tell
starts
yourself
off.
nothing but truths.
When it starts off, man.
What's up, YouTube communities, TeamS2N, Fayetteville, North Carolina. This is our late as hell recap on the Nats for Philadelphia and everything for Vanguard. We just wanted to give you our views, opinions, feelings, and all that to keep y'all updated with what's going on. You got your boy Tobie, of course.
You're like Reaper.
Souf Kowea.
All right, man, we're going to get started for this. And once again, apologize for the lateness on this. The trip to Philly, it's my first time ever been to Philly. It was a really good trip. Virgil ended up driving us and stuff. Shout out Virgil, couldn't be here. You know, he's out there defending our country. We're going to go with that military life, you know.
Yeah, I know all about that.
Heck yeah. So, good trip and everything. 7-hour drive. I think we were driving at light speed the entire time.
We were driving pretty fast, like 100 plus miles an hour.
Yeah. It was legit. It was
Bob
legit.
weaving through traffic.
Yeah, it was good. I'd like to shout out Souf Kowea for paying for the tolls.
I wasn't prepared for those tolls. I was the only one with money, with cash.
Yeah. We
and I
don't
wasn't
care.
prepared for it.
So, you know, I mean, it was a real good trip. How was it for y'all?
I mean, I liked it. I slept in the back seat, so I was happy. But on the trip up there, Philadelphia is definitely a lot nicer to look at than Fayetteville.
A lot nicer.
So
We also saw one of the best rest stops I've ever seen in my life.
It was legit.
That rest stop that had restaurants in it, I was like, what? And a gas station?
It
That was the
amazing.
best rest stop.
it was pretty awesome.
Oh, and you cannot catch Pokemon driving 100 plus miles per
They
hour.
will run every time.
I tried with
I tried telling
everything on.
I tried telling him.
It was
wasn't
great. He
listening.
wasted an incense and a lucky egg. I was happy.
And millions of Pokeballs.
Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. The venue that we ended up going to and everything for the Philly thing was jeez, man, Nats venue. It was what, Doc D or something.
Yeah, it was
Doc
that
D.
dude.
Yeah, it was Doc D and everything. When it was actually a really big venue, to be completely honest.
It was a
really
big area.
Yeah, it was a big area, really spacious and stuff. A lot of vendors out.
With the car show being right next to it.
Yeah, car show was right next to it. It was too freaking cool. Really great setup and everything. Few things, you know, kind of,
But there's some major things, like
We can hit those right now. We're talking about the thing I didn't like about the venue was the tables and the chairs. Because if all the Vanguard players played normal mats like that Bushy Road gave us, it would have been fine. But nobody likes playing on those small mats, so all of our mats recline on top of each other. We're really close, and a lot of players are bigger than others, so they took up more space.
and people, it was
Yeah,
like
it
we were
was
basically
really-
we
it was really
were
great.
nuts to butt.
I was
Shoulder
like
to shoulder
this.
type.
yeah, show.
I was like this
yeah.
playing.
Yeah,
So.
it was nothing but mad over.
And then people like to carry giant book bags, like me, and as well as Ryan, and then we had to put that under our like chairs, and they were terrible chairs by the way. The chairs were
What?
so bad.
It was awesome. They had the people that ran it, they're awesome. But the thing about the venue that made me happy was I was able to pick up some cars that are no longer that weren't on TCG Player. So that made me really happy. That right there, the trip was worth it. It got me 4 Dancing Cutlass and 4 Janet, the Crit Trigger.
And I picked them up a King Serpent. 2 of them actually.
Yeah, 2 keys from
No
his binder.
games.
So it didn't really pick it up. It was from his binder. Whatever.
No, I actually had to trade for them.
Oh, you did trade
Yeah,
for those?
shout out to the dude I traded for those King Serpents.
Oh, I did
Thank
not know
you.
that. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. All right, so let's talk about the amount of people and what we expected.
Believe for the tournament was about 150 people that showed up. It was really good. Didn't expect that many people to pop up. Really good. Before the tournament started, ran into a lot of cool and nice people. A lot of people, willing to showcase their ideas on what a deck should be and tips, hints, tricks, and stuff. Played a few free games before the tournament ended up starting up. It was fun. It was definitely a good pre-warm up until the actual throwdown happened. It's really legit, really legit.
Yeah, I expected, honestly, I did not expect to see that many, Angel Feather players. There's too many.
Millions, not billions.
And I thought there was going to be more of a diversity,
None of them went to church.
but it was all, there wasn't much of a diversity there. It was still the main 4. There was so many hand-trapped Figueros, Angel Feathers. I don't think there was that many Sanctuary Guard Dragons, but I think they're the ones that were
there was surprisingly a good amount of Bermuda players with shotgun.
Yeah, that's a shocker.
Yeah,
I thought Tony would be the only one.
I thought I'd be the only one. Like, nah, man.
There's definitely a whole lot of them. Definitely. Oh, yeah. I feel like I gotta throw this in here. Angel Feathers, Bushy Road, everybody part of ARG, whatever. I think you should have Angel Feathers turns never be able to go past 5 seconds. Because it's aggravating. If we have a 40-minute total match time, and in that one round it takes an Angel Feather player 30 minutes, even if they're not stalling, just for one round to finish, it's ridiculous. Like, I went to time almost. Actually, I did go to time playing Angel Feathers. I think everybody who played Angel Feathers went to time. Like,
and then heaven forbid we had the good old Angel Feather versus Angel Feather that went time and then went 40 minutes overtime. So that was that took up a lot of the day.
Absolutely crazy.
Well, the decks we played and why? What do you?
Well, the YouTube community knows me as, Dope Twan. I had no choice but to play Pale Moons, the Gacy Circus. Now, originally it was either going to be them or my Neonectars, or I actually was thinking about Grand Blue, but I hadn't played test Grand Blue enough to really take it. And Neonectars, though they are strong and everything, with what I figured was going to be at the tournament, that didn't seem like a smart option. So I went with Pale Moon. I'm like, Pale Moons is what got me 2 Nats anyway, so stuck with what I knew. I'm glad I did.
All right. Well, the reason why I played Tachikaze, and everybody's going to be like, but I threw off a lot of people with that. There's 2 other Tachikaze players there. Shout out to y'all. I didn't catch y'all's name, but thank you for playing this clan also. But the surprise factor and the fact that the deck is good if played right, like just like every deck that everybody thinks is supposedly tier 3. Like, my view on that is, if you're playing this deck, like everybody assumes is tier 1, there's a majority of the players playing the deck, so of course it's going to continue to top. But I'll get on to more of how I overcame my games a little bit.
I played Bermuda Triangle, specifically the new Prisms, and the reason why I played it is because to me it has one of the best defense in plays, especially in like the meta now, which is basically lots of multi-attacks, high power lines, and Bermuda's pretty much had an answer to it on the Garnet play, and that's pretty much why I run it. I don't want to run. I didn't run Genesis because Genesis was way too slow, so I just stuck with Bermuda's. Especially with the new set that came out with it, it just made it like a lot more stronger, a lot more pressure heavy. And
shout out to the prison player that won Worlds with it.
Yeah, shout out. Yeah, made that face happen and stuff like that.
That's good.
I'll tell you about my matches. Yeah, I didn't do so well due to my deck like taking a shite on me, so it was bad. But
all right, so we'll talk about our record and matchups, and we'll have Tobie go first.
Record was 5-3. Placed 42nd out of 150 plus out some odd people. My first match was a Bermuda girl. She was it was her first time playing the deck. She was kind of getting used to it and everything. That caused me to lose due to time. Being nice and lenient and stuff. It's kind of irky, but shout out to her because you came out. It was your first big tournament. You did good. Second person I ended up playing was Kaiser D Police. I'd like to say I'm sorry. There's no other way to say that. See, what happened was Perry Time came out and it just kept attacking. Every round I swung him like about 7-8 times, and he never got any defensive triggers, so there was nothing he could do, and he lost to that. I actually ended up playing the third one was against the Bermuda player's boyfriend. He was playing Grand Blue 7 Seas. Me and him was a pretty good close game until that last Lunatic stride. See, Lunatic kills people. That's what he does in his spare time, and that's exactly what happened. It was brutal. I ended up playing against a Kagero player. He was playing Kagero the hand trap and all that. That first round, I got destroyed. My opening hand was triggers, G assist, and just swinging. I didn't have anything to set up. I didn't get any of my combo pieces the entire round. That second one, he got them hands, and that third one, it was just back and forth. But he got lucky with his triggers, and like triple critted me. There's nothing I could do about it. Lane Joker player, Messiah. Spoiler alert: if you cannot read your cards, you cannot read your players' cards, shut up. There's no nice way to say that, really. The Lane Joker player I ended up playing ended up beating Virgil, and I needed to, you know, rectify that thing. It was a good match. He was playing Messiah / Freeze Ray, and Freeze Ray was definitely shutting down my columns. I don't agree with some of his plays, but it did cause me to play completely unorthodox. I had my Lunatic. If you don't know, he gets an extra crit at GB2. G-Guard, he was at GB, he was at extra crit, swung for 2 crit. Next turn, swung for 2 crit. Next turn, swung with parry time. And I have to tell people about this combo. It's so sexy. Alright, you don't know Pale Moons, cool, whatever, you should learn them. They're amazing. Everybody wants to learn. Check out the videos. But I had a column locked down, had a parry time on board, 3 parry times of soul, a purple trapezes and all. And basically with that one column, I got about 7-8 attacks before Vanguard swung.
Let that sink in.
Yeah.
One column.
Yeah, one column.
So 7-8 attacks before Vanguard swung, and I didn't stride that turn at all. And no, I did stride that turn. And it just, he had like 10 cards in hand. His cards were gone. He was at 2 damage. He ended. He died. Like, there was nothing he could do. And the only reason that happened is because he rode on Messiah, because 2 crit, VG, triple drop. He couldn't take it anymore. So, I mean, he tried. He definitely tried. The next person I ended up playing would actually come to Angels.
That's one that went overtime.
Yeah, overtime, of course. The Angels, it was good. I ended up winning that one. It was back and forth, and the Angel lines were strong. Took forever, 30 minutes for one round. It was good, though. Shout out to him. Gears player, one of his friends played Pale Moon, and he was like, yo, man, I can't believe you played Pale Moon. What build you play? So we started playing. He was shocked. He was like, I didn't know Pale Moons could do that, man. I got to get a picture of your deck and send it to my friend and all that. He was excited. It was a good match back and forth. His trickle up was a little bit better than mine, so he definitely got that. My last one was against Reaper. I'm sorry. Me and him play all the time, and I don't think, have Tachi's ever bested Pale Moons? Nah. And it's just because it's so explosive my first turn of stride that it's kind of hard.
As soon as I saw him sit down in front of me, I just grabbed a paper and went on.
Yeah, and then he just started signing.
I was like, whatever.
But I mean, it was good. It was good. I definitely can't wait to go to the next tournament and start racking up again.
Just so we know, I almost beat him one round in his top deck god, Stride Fodder. I was just like, yep, I lost. Because you can top deck one stride and still get 7 attacks. Anyways, it's my turn. We'll talk about it. I went 4-4 with Tachikaze's. Big surprise. I could have done better, but I'll get to explain why. My first match was against Mega Colony. That was a loss for me. That was an extremely good match. We went back and forth. The only reason why I lost is because, one, he gained momentum, and I ended up taking it back. I kept the momentum, but there was one time he dark faced me with a stride, and then I think it stunned the whole board. What card does that?
Stunned the whole board. Did he break ride?
I think he broke ride.
Yeah,
he did a break ride, and it stunned my board, and I just didn't have a grade 3 to ride that turn, and that's when he picked up momentum and beat me that game. It was an awesome game. It was back and forth. It was 2-1. My next game was against a Norokami Eradicator player. I won that game. I felt bad about that one. The first round he ended up scooping because he couldn't get his grade 3. So that was I didn't like winning that way. In the second game, we went back and forth, but Tachikaze is just too explosive, and I beat him that game. My third match was against a Great Nature player. This match surprised me. It came down to the wire. This was a 2-1 match also. It was constantly back and forth. That hand size is so strong, because every time Dogma would destroy his whole hand, then he would get it all back. Dogma again, destroy his whole hand, he would get it right back. But the last round came down to the wire. It is I did a Dogma turn, and he had, I think it was like 8 or 9 cards in hand, and I luckily drive checked the trigger and gave it to my rear guard. And he was either going to have to take this one or this one, so he took the Dogma, and I ended up taking that win. It was a really close match. It was a great match. The Gear Chronicle player. Now this is a funny match. I'm glad I won this one, because I haven't mentioned it yet, but this has happened to me like 3 times so far in the day already. That I've G-assisted probably 3 times, and I've had somebody heal with 6 damage like 4 times already. But on our second game, on the Gears one, I should have won, but he heals on the 6th damage, of course, my luck, and then he beats me. Then on the third game, we go into time. It was a 0-1-2-3. It was the end of my third turn. All I had was the Legion and a booster. I attacked. We're both at 5 damage. He had like 9 cards in hand. His field was set up perfect. My first drive check was a heal trigger. I won the game. it's a BS way to win a game, but I should have won anyways because he healed on the 6 damage. So, next one's Angel Feather. This game pissed me. I have never been so mad in my life. The trigger luck in this game right here. I wanted to take his deck and throw it on the ground. It's the grade 1, I forgot the name, but when it's pulled from the drop zone to the field, it gains the ability when it boosts or attack, it can rescue a card. Yeah. And when he did this, like I had like 5 cards in hand. It was like I don't remember if it was GB or not, but it is GB. He took the first try, but no exaggeration. This is what happened. He swung, rescued 1, stand trigger, stood up, swung, rescued 1, stand trigger. He did this to me 4 times. 4 times he hit a stand trigger, and I don't know how that happened. I just deserved to lose that game, I guess. But he beat me 2-0 Angel Feathers in that one. The next one was Kagero, hand track Kagero. I won that one. I figured out how to play against it, even with Dogma relying on rear guards. I got around. Everybody should complain about the G guard. They're not that bad. I still won. The next one was against another Kagero player. I did lose that one. It was a shout out to their team. It's with Greg, Carl, and Edward and them. Yeah. I don't know. I forgot his name. I'm sorry. I don't remember your name, man. But it was a good match. Well, not really, because I didn't get any cards. He even said, he's like, hey, I'm sorry that game ended that way. But, I mean, it happens to the best of us. It's Vanguard. And then, last match was against... he gets carried by Pale Moon. That's the only day he can play YouTube. Next.
All right, my first match was against I'm about to say bullshit Knights, but Jewel Knights. What happened was, no joke, IG assisted both games on grade 1, which is unheard of for Bermuda. The hardest grade to ride in Bermuda is grade 2. But he won that because IG assisted both games. I had to get rid of like key cards out of my hand just so I could stay alive. So it was a no-brainer at that point. My second game was against Nova Grapplers. He had the what that panda do? That rush panda? I forgot what it did. He had a rush build.
Elbow drop.
Yeah, the elbow drop.
I don't know what he does.
Anyway, he had a rush build, and I was like, he had a theory, I would say, on like infinite attacks if it hits, and I was like, I'm not gonna let those hit. And then during that game, I actually had the Celtic engine, 3 Celtics and Lighty and Emerald, and I was just sitting there like, draw cards. We're gonna guard as much as I can. And so I beat him 2-0, and my third game was against Royal Paladins. Now, this guy's luck was on a whole nother level. So he'll swing with his rear guard line and then hit me, and I'll hit a trigger, so it gets +5 to my Vanguard on grade 2. And then he has just a 9k Vanguard, and he swings at me. He just needs a trigger to pass. He gets it 2 games in a row. He swings like 2 games in a row. He always trigger sacks me. I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm at 4 damage turn 2. It's just whatever. Now, my fourth game was my fourth game was against D-Police, which is a Die Kaiser bill, and then he was meant to win that game. On our last game where I was supposed to win, he only had 4 rear guards, and he boosted with Commander Laurel, and he managed to get the only stand trigger that was in his deck, and I was like, no, guy, there's no way he's gonna hit me with just with the only stand trigger, and he got it, and I was like, well, if you wanted me to win, yeah, I was meant to lose that one. I was like, whatever. My fifth game was against Eradicators. I ripped his soul out of his body, and it was just so bad. Like, it got to the point where he just kept reading my cards, like, is that really what it does? And I'm like, yeah, that's really what it does. I actually got the Garnet play on him like 3 times. About 3 times that game, playing hand-to-hand Leona. I bounce Emerald. I know the Bermuda players don't really run Emerald, but I play Emerald and then bounce 2 Lighties and then flip 3, give my Vanguard +5, and then Emerald gives my Vanguard +5, Lighty give my Vanguard +8 on flip 2, and then I have Rosa sitting there, Soul Blaster give my Vanguard +9. I just shut down all his plays. Like, my 2 first turns was Prism Promise, Princess Labrador, Jesus Christ. And it was I just had a clear field every single time, so there was nothing he could have like attacked for like more power. And then by the time that game was done, he was like, loss, drop, side name. And I saw him and I was like, I'm sorry, man. He was like, I hate Bermudas. That's exactly what he said. My 6th game was against Prisms of all things. I had a mirror match Prism game, except his grade 2 lineup was different. He played Amelia. He won the first one, I won the next one, and then it went to the third one. That one actually went down to the wire, and then we actually cut through time, and I actually managed to pull that one. And then it was a good build. He had a lot of draw power instead of like actual power in that build, but mine was just shutting down his turn due to the Garnet play. My 7th match was against another mirror match Bermudas. What's his name? Alex?
Andrew?
Why keep calling
Lee.
Alex? Andrew Lee. He played the prison bill with Spica in it. He won the first one. IG assisted of all things. I managed to take the second one because I actually got the Garnet play. I was shutting down his Spica plays. You know, those explosive prism turns. There was nothing he could have really done. Also on that turn where he went to divert stride to Garnet, he drew into a non-prism card, which actually cost him the game. So he couldn't call 3 rear guards for extra power. And then I managed to take that one. And that last game actually went to time. So on our 3rd match, it went to time, and then it was his turn to pick because he lost that one. And because of that, it was a deciding factor whether he won. Well, he's going to auto win because all he's going to do is set up for turn 2 to the point where I just can't hit him. So I lost that one due to time. And then my 8th match was against Grand Blue 7Cs. At that point, I knew I was going to make top 16. So I was like, I'll just play it for fun and see what other combos I could do out of it. And I ended up losing just to trying out new things. I didn't really care. But that's how my games went. My deck just literally shadowed me. It just didn't want to play for me. Maybe sometimes it did, but that's how my games went. I'm happy. I made 74th place. You know, everybody, I don't know what Ryan plays, but everybody in the group made a top 50 percentile. Yeah, high five. Woo! We the top half, man. We the crust of the pie. Everybody loves crust of the pie.
All right, well, that's it for our matches. So quickly we'll go over a few short things. Sustains and improvements. For ourselves, the vendors maybe.
Vendors. Why is all your prices so high? And if you're gonna have vendors,
You mean like the food?
yeah.
Okay, the food was like outrageous.
And the Monster Energy drinks were outrageous. I'm not paying $5 for a damn Monster.
You get $5 for a Monster. A bottle of water is $3. You can get a sandwich for $10.
The funny thing is, there's a
you can
vending
shake my
machine
hand
on
for
the other side.
$4.50. Like,
I just starved and died that day. I was just like, I drank 3 energy drinks. I was tired.
it was never any break for like food, and I
There
get
wasn't.
why there wasn't
Yeah,
because they only had the venue for so long, and I get that Angel Feather players were there, so it was gonna take a lot longer than normal. But it was like, man, better concessions, better tables. Like
Those tables were bad.
I'm not sure what Strange Beaver was running around chewing on every table before we started playing, but you need to keep them out of there because that's ridiculous. Those chairs were horrible.
I like I was about to fall down.
That's what I'm saying. I think if you sneeze too hard, they would completely crumble. I'm positive they would.
They had terrible back support, so my back was like dying.
I'm tall, you know what I'm saying? Half my back was hanging over the back. Like, I'm pretty sure I got scoliosis now. Absolutely positive.
I'll stun your growth. You wouldn't be so tall.
No, that's how you get it. That's how you get it. Make your chairs out of Tobinium. It's real stuff.
It's a terrible
Oh my god.
element that's not real. Don't listen to him.
It's the greatest metal alloy halogen ever made.
None of that should be in the same sentence.
Improvement for the, I'll say on the judges side, like I've talked a few times. We've talked a few times with Greg, Carl, and Edward. They're awesome guys. They're good players also. But
Shout out.
the sleeves thing, like before I asked Edward, I was like, hey, are my sleeves too opaque? He was like, yeah, switch them. I was like, okay, cool. But then as I went through the tournament, like everybody had opaque sleeves. I saw, which isn't a big deal. I'm not saying everybody there was cheating, but I mean, it's like rules in a format, just so we all play fair.
If you have to abide by it, and you're actually asked to judge, if you have to abide by it, then I believe everybody also has to abide by it.
Yeah, and there's 3 games where I had people with their stride decks. They were like there was one guy, the Gear Chronicle player, didn't even have his stuff in sleeves. So they're just all different sleeves, which I don't care. It's not a big deal because it's not a part of the deck. You can't like trigger stack me with that. But it is a rule for Vanguard. You got to have them all the same sleeve. So I think people should research a little bit more and invest time into like not just on the judges but the players themselves.
Yeah, definitely. What would I change in my deck for the upcoming, tournament year? Pale Moon wise, there's more Pale Moons coming out, so I may have to still play it. there's a lot of Grand Blue coming out, so I'm probably gonna have to pick that up. Dark Irregulars are about to be amazing. So
that Genesis though.
But just the Genesis,
too.
yeah, the Neil Neck is amazing. But
All
just going on the tournament deck, Pale Moon wise, I think the only flaw that I found in it is everybody says last minute don't change a card. Last minute I changed the card. I took out Dreaming Pegasus, which is a card when you place
you
it.
did do that.
Yeah, I did change it out. And then I'd already turned my deck list in before I could change anything on it. But when you play it, you look at the top 3, put one to your soul, put the other 2 on the bottom. I changed one of those out for Jacqueline, which is the Amber Clone boost, counterblast, soul charge, bring something out of your soul, grade 2 or higher. I wish I would have kept the Pegasus. Pegasus would have did a lot more, set up a lot more plays, and on like clutch times when I really needed something, Pegasus would have helped. Jacqueline didn't do anything, so just one card.
Was there ever a time where it actually did something, or it did nothing?
It never did anything the entire game. Anytime that I would place Jacqueline on the board, Jacqueline, I would need to commit another card to get the boost ability because Pale Moon's everything goes back in. So I was always dropping more cards than I needed to drop. Vice versa with Pegasus, I can drop it, tutor into my soul, and set up my field how I choose without worrying about extra committing.
For me, the Tajikaze deck, really hate to say it because I love it. You can tell my mat. I'm probably not going to play it in the next tournament until I get more support. Same thing I did with Brawlers. Brawlers was my main deck. I had to put it aside because there's nothing for them right now. The reason why I decided to do that is because before all the G guards came around and all these other things I support, I came 3rd place in an ARG event before everybody freaks out. I know it's ARG. It's not a 2,000 person tournament, but there's still over 30 players, and in that 30 players, everybody was playing top decks, talking about Kagero, Sanctuary Guard. Well, Kagero wasn't big at that point in time, but there was a bunch of Sanctuary Guard, a bunch of Gear players, all that stuff. 7 Cs, I beat them all. I did great against them, and I ended up losing to a teammate. So, I mean, and that was Tachi's. I don't have a problem against the tier decks. I think my deck does fine against it, but with all this support that just rapidly came out, Tajikaze has fallen behind a little too far. So now I'm having to switch to something different. I don't know yet what I'm going to, though. Probably Grand Blue. Grand Blue's coming.
As far as like the fixes on my deck, I wouldn't change it until I see that Bermuda deck that got 1st place at Worlds in New York. I'm interested in seeing that. Not that I'm really going to change it. I want to know what his biggest explosive plays was. But I wouldn't really necessarily change anything out my deck. The only reason why is because if you have the Celtic engine, you should be good to go. The deck just runs smoothly for you. It's like a well-oiled engine that has a lot of gas. It'll be fine. If you don't have it, that Bermuda deck is just gonna die on itself, or it'll just be an uphill battle. As far as like me playing Genesis in future tournaments, when that new support comes out, I'll figure out how to break it, just like how I broke my Genesis deck as of right now, which is the best one as of right now, in my personal opinion. It could be fact too. It's on the border right there. But when that new Genesis stuff comes out, I'm gonna figure out how to break it. I'm gonna start playing in tournaments because they'll probably become high speed at that point. They're slow now, but
yeah,
they're gonna get there.
It's scary. Well, I mean, I think that brings us to a wrap, boys.
I mean, it's definitely,
You want to talk about a trip back, or?
I mean, we could talk about the trip back where we almost all of us died. Final Destination flashed before our eyes. I'm glad that one of us decided to stop at Best Western, get a hotel room. But since I saved us, we got to figure out.
Technically, Brandon saved us.
Yeah, technically,
yeah. Motherfuckers were backed out.
I was knocked out, and then Jamal was knocked out.
My neck was like, bah!
He was in the seatbelt, like, bah! Bah!
But yeah, like, yeah, once again, shout out to Virgil. He tried to power through and drive back. He just couldn't do it.
He was driving 40 miles an hour in the middle lane doing this.
Yeah, so we finally ended up finding Best Western. Shout out to Best Western. Great sleep. Breakfast was legit. Pancakes. Machines. 1 minute pancakes. That is the most amazing thing ever. You ain't got to do nothing. Just push a button and happiness falls out.
Those are some tough pancakes, but it tasted good.
But they were so good.
They were some tough pancakes. Your fork broke.
Yeah, my fork did break. But it was, yo, man, that showed love was built in that pancake. But, I mean, great trip. Can't wait to go out to a few more tournaments, see a few more things, meet more people, network a little bit more, put them hands, Pale Moons, Grand Blues, Atachis, Genesis, Bermuda, get all up in there.
I don't know, Spikes might be coming.
Oh, yeah. Spikes. Yeah, Spikes getting support, so watch out for that. Yo, YouTube, thank you. Remember to like, subscribe, share our videos, show love. We show you love back. And
Always carry cash for tolls.
Always carry cash for tolls, especially
Always
when you're
bring
on the road.
a stick of deodorant.
Yes.
Bathe. Always. Bathe.
Bathe, brush teeth, deodorant. Like,
Twice. I mean, big twice.
I may go to the Dollar Tree and just like rack up on Axe and just pass them out to people randomly. They're not gonna know. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna slip it in their backpacks and be like, here you go. This is for you, guy.
Please.
All right, y'all. See you
Later.
next time.
Yes.
Yeah, I think this is something we'll have to do every time.